Today, I'm going to tell you about the time that I cheated my way through high school. Now, I only ever cheated on one exam my entire 4 years, and we're going to have to go back to 2016. I believe it was my sophomore year to talk about this. There was a couple subjects, I'm sure everyone can relate to this, where I lagged way behind, particularly in math class and Spanish class. Everything else, I was a pretty regular student, generally speaking. So one day my teacher has me stay after school because she's going to give me extra help. This is not or anything. That's actually what she's doing. She is younger in her first few years of teaching. She was probably in her mid 20s, which, funny enough, is how old I am now. And she is pretty strict, which is a way a lot of younger teachers would tend to be because I guess they want to establish their authority. The older teachers are kind of more secure and not worried about that, generally speaking. So I found it odd when at the end of our session she sent me home with an answer key to the exam. I don't know if she just thought that I was like special needs and I was too stupid to even possibly use it. I wasn't actually in the special class at this point in time. I had been earlier in my school career. It's a long story. I guess I'll get into it a little bit. So, back to 10th grade, where this story is taking place. Forgive how much I'm playing with my hair, by the way. I'm just not used to having it so long. So, once I go home and I have the answer key, I'm definitely realizing what this means, that I have a chance to cheat, and I'm not really sure what to do with it. And I sort of forego studying for the exam because I decide that I'm just gonna write the answers on my arm. I should have taken a picture of this. It looked pretty hilarious. I was wearing like a hoodie. I guess it was probably the winter. And I could just like roll up my sleeve and look at the answers. And that was at least what I was planning on doing. But you see, this is where it gets really weird. So I show up to take the test, and this teacher ends up saying that she's going to take a few of us and put us in a different room. It's me and two other boys, and she takes us into like a sort of conference room, and I'm allowed to take my backpack somehow, which I'm just like shocked that this is even happening, that she's totally not seeing the possibility of A, that she gave me an answer key, and that B, I have my backpack on me and I'm going to be able to use it. So now the new concern arises on whether or not I'm going to tell the other two boys about having the answer key or not, because it could sort of get me busted if they go running their mouths about it. I decide I kind of have to tell them because I'm gonna pull it out and they're gonna see me using it. I'm not really friends with either one. I know both of them sort of well. I remember saying, it's like, yo guys, I actually have the answer key here, and they're like, holy shit, what? So I take it out, we put it in the center of the table, and everyone's just like, yo, how did you get this? And I'm like, I don't know, she just gave it to me. And as far as I can tell, she wanted me to give it to them. Like, I think that may have been her motivation. I'm not trying to out her or anything. Actually a pretty nice lady. I mean, like I said, she was strict, but it was a little bit necessary in this particular class. Even in 2016, kids were not very well behaved. It's not that terribly new of a thing, even though everybody's talking about it like it's a new thing. And we all also agree that we have to make it look like we got some wrong. We can't all get a 100 because that's going to look suspicious. So we all end up like conspiring together, which is just funny. But they wanted to help me get away with it because, I sort of came through clutch for them. I don't know why she picked three of us particularly to siphon off in this conference room. Like, I think we might have all just sucked at Spanish, and she wanted to, like, it reflects on her, I guess, how the kids in her class do, and she wanted to boost our grades, so she let us get away with this as far as I can tell, because I can't imagine this was a genuine oversight. So yeah, I guess that's all there is to it. You want to know what made me think of this story? For some reason, I stumbled onto a live stream of Degrassi, the first season. I've never seen that show before. Sometimes I'll just start watching like a random show because there's these channels that like live stream them. This one's from 1989. There was a whole cheating situation on this show. The kids got caught in this fictional reality. Real life is not always like that. Never got caught for this. Guess I want to spill my conscience here. Definitely don't want that teacher to get in any trouble. I'm sure she probably still teaches. She would not be very old still. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the story time. I do like to pop on and make one of these every so often. Chatroom Surfer logging out. Right around third grade, I became pretty detached and quiet, and this caused my homeroom teacher, which is the only teacher you have when you're that young, to be concerned enough to want me to get tested. They did test me. They didn't find that I was autistic or anything, though I still have my suspicions that they may have missed it. They ended up just saying I have an antisocial personality, not antisocial personality disorder, like I'm a sociopath. They wouldn't diagnose you as a sociopath at 8 years old. Just that I wasn't social. But they told my mom they still wanted to put me in special ed just because they didn't like the way I behaved. So this lasted for a few years, and it kind of hindered my ability to be perceived as the same as the other kids. Once you're in that class, they view you a different way. So that may be unfortunate. Eventually, in fifth or sixth grade, I just got a bunch of like really high grades in social studies. Just happened to be a subject I was really good at. So I took these grades. There was some kind of board, I guess, that decides these things. My mom actually took these grades to the board, and they kind of had to agree that I couldn't possibly be special ed if I was getting these scores on with no help on exams that were just for regular kids, for lack of a better term. I feel like I'm going to offend someone making this video. It's not my intention at all.